So now we have the tools and we know we can use these tools, which is great. The next step in our process would be to understand which steps we need to take to complete our project, like from idea to publishing the game. So we know the beginning and we know the end. We want to start from an idea and we want to end by publishing our game on Steam and start advertising. But advertising is not a part of this course, so we will just talk about the steps in between idea to publishing the game. So I'll just come right here and I'll just copy and paste this. I'll come this side, and yeah, I'll just give this a name, something like maybe progress, like this. And yeah, I can just remove this line. I'll just come here and I'll remove this as well. Now we know the first step should be an idea. Well, something happened, idea, like this. I'll remove the C at the beginning. We start from idea, like this. And then the next step, let's say we will just guess some steps. Let's think we don't know anything about the game development process. So let's consider our first step as idea, as finding an idea. So we'll talk about idea. When we have idea, we can just start planning the idea, and we'll make the game design document, which will demonstrate every step of the way, including the class hierarchy and the things we need to use in our project, the tools and how we can use them, the different gameplay systems and things. And then we will make some visual diagrams so that things would be a little more easier for us to understand. For example, how you can structure your class system. Like we know about inheritance in object-oriented programming, and C++ and Unreal Engine are all about inheritance, how you can organize your classes. When you want to make a complete project, a huge project, in that case you will need to organize your classes well, and that will help you a lot for performance and adding some new features to your game. So that's why it's very important to make some visual diagrams of our class hierarchy. Then we will create process structure. That would be something like where do we start, for example, which class we need to create first, and then which class, and then which class. So that way, like when we have a basic idea of the classes, where to start and where to finish, it will help us a lot, and we will not lose our way in between. So that's why we'll create a process structure before we write the code or make the project. And then well, we will need to find required tools and assets, which is also really important. We will be using all the free assets in this course, but if you're making a real game, in that case you will need to purchase some assets as well if you want to. And then when we have all the required tools and assets, and we have the diagram of our class hierarchy, and we know the process of our game, then we can start on executing the plan. So how we can we'll start from the first class, we'll create and we'll make animations and things. And then the next thing, like after you execute your plan, after you create your classes, the story you want to create, the enemies and the things, the weapons, everything is ready. Then you need to test your project. In that case, we will test our project with our students. I will share my project on Discord community, where there are hundreds of game developers, and I'll just tell them to play the game and find some bugs in there. So it's really important to test the game before publishing it. And we will need to debug, or I'll just add debugging like this. So we'll just need to debug the game before publishing. So if there is some problem or error, bug or something, we'll need to fix that before publishing the game. And the last step would be publishing the game, and after that would be advertising and things, which is not part of this course. So these are all the things we'll be doing in here. We will do all these steps with the help of AI, Unreal Engine, C++, and Writer, which are very helpful. And the good thing would be we will use GitHub version control, which also helps us understand the process, how we made the project, which steps were first, and then how we brought the change in our project in time. So it's also very important. I'll show you the whole GitHub repository at the end of the course, how we managed to execute our plan But the thing is, we will not be executing our plan exactly as we planned at the beginning. Sometimes you need to plan your process at the beginning, but you might change some things in the way. You might add some more steps, and you might want to remove some of the steps that you don't want, or maybe difficult or not available, or is too easy, or people don't like that idea. So the plan is, like, if we execute 70 or 80% of our plan correctly, that would be the perfect thing. And that's what we want in this case. Like the things we write in here, and we will check these things, or we will have an overview at the end. You'll see which steps were completed and which steps we removed, and which other steps did we added along the way. So now we have this progress. We will start from idea. We will ask ChatGPT in the next lecture. He will also give us, he, she, or it, I don't know what to call it, but in this case I'll call it it, or maybe he sometimes. We will just ask ChatGPT some more steps. What's ChatGPT's idea about these things, which process we need to take to complete our project. So I'll see you in the next lecture.